First, I chop the walnuts because when I'm making special cookies, gotta have walnuts, as well as the chocolate chips. First, just get all your ingredients out, and I put them all in these little containers so that I could dump them into the ingredients in the bowl in my KitchenAid, which I've had for years. This is like so good. This has lasted me like 25 years. And then I put the things away in the cupboard after I've got them. I got everything out first, just like I learned in, like 7th or 8th grade. Because if you have an ingredient missing, you know before you start mixing it, because I've still done that sometimes and had to rush out to the store. So that's what I do first. First, I whisk the flour and the baking soda together in a medium bowl, and I put it in a small bowl, and then I always set it aside. So there, it's set aside. And then what I do is, see the butter? I measure out the butter first. I have a whole stick because I need like 8 teaspoons. And I'm going to melt them in there. And then I put those 4 tablespoons in after I'm done with those. So here we go. I'm starting to melt the butter. You can see it's starting to melt. And you melt it first. This is the only recipe that I have ever had that does this. And what it does, it like makes the flavor so good that people that don't even know I do this, like when I take my cookies to church, they are always like, these are so good and so flavorful. And so I will do that and then add, I get this ready. And so I have it, because once I'm done melting it, and I kind of will mix it as it goes, I kind of shake it, and it will have like, I almost burn it, so that it has a nutty flavor. And in the meantime, what I do is over here in my mixer, I start mixing the stuff that needs to mix there. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the sugar. This is the brown sugar. I mix that in. And then I have the white sugar, and I mix that in. There is 1/2 cup of white sugar and 3/4 cups of brown sugar. And then it actually says mix the salt in there, but I often put the salt in with the flour. And then I will mix it up. So here I have an egg yolk and an egg. So a whole egg yolk, and I separate the egg so I only have, instead of putting 2 eggs in, you have an egg and an egg yolk. And I'm going to mix it in here and turn it on. And one thing I always do is I mix it and then I let it rest, and I mix it and let it rest, and that really makes it the best. And then one habit I always have is to put things away immediately after I use them, because that saved me a million times wondering if I actually put the salt in or the sugar in. And so if you get it all out first and put it away one by one as you use it, that saves trouble in the long run. Plus, it's a way of cooking and cleaning as you go. See what I'm doing? I'm shaking the butter, and that helps it to get that nutty flavor. It's sort of boiling a little bit, but I won't let it do that too much. And it'll go kind of a brownish color around the edges, and it gives it a nutty flavor that's just really terrific. So that's what I'm doing with that. And then I'll take it off there and let it cool. There you go. And so there, I'm mixing it again, and I'm going to pour the butter in. Can you see that? And what I do is I stop it, let it rest a minute, and then I'll start it up again. And that works really well. The next thing I'm going to do is to add the flour a little bit at a time. Let's see if I can do this. Whoops, well, no, I didn't. I still have some there. Then I turn it on, and I mix it, and let that kind of get going in there a little bit. Shake the rest of the flour in and add some more. Actually, I added it all because So here we go. I'm going to put it in the oven. And I only put one sheet in the oven anyway, even if I'm making the whole batch, because it gives room for the air to circulate so that the best cookies are made possible. And here they are, out of the oven. And one tip I want to tell you is that when you make cookies or anything in the kitchen, if you clean up as you go, it's a lot easier. Wash the things and get your dishes cleaned out of the sink, because when you do that, it's not as overwhelming. When you leave everything soaking in the sink or not even soaking, it is so overwhelming when you finally need to cook again and you come back into the kitchen and you see a pile in the sink. So here we go. We can have some in a while. Yum. So here we go. They're all done. And it's time to try one.